Not all calibers are created equal, and some, well, you'll wish you never spent a dime on them. Whether it's because of ridiculous recoil, overpriced ammo, poor availability, or just plain underperformance in the field, there are some cartridges that look good on paper but leave you disappointed at the range or in the woods. In this video, we're counting down 5 calibers you're likely to regret buying. Maybe you were chasing ballistics, maybe you fell for the hype, or maybe that gun shop counter guy gave you some bad advice. Whatever the case, these are the rounds that tend to collect dust instead of memories. We're not just nitpicking obscure wildcats, we're talking about commonly available calibers that have left more than a few shooters saying, "What was I thinking?" So before you drop cash on your next rifle, watch this list and make sure you're not about to invest in a ballistic disappointment. Let's dive into the top 5 cartridges that sound good until you actually try to live with them. Number 5. .40 S&W, the law enforcement fad that fizzled. When the .40 Smith & Wesson hit the scene in 1990, it was hailed as the perfect compromise between 9mm capacity and .45 ACP stopping power. Born from the infamous 1986 Miami FBI shootout, the .40 S&W was designed to pack more punch than a 9mm while still fitting into mid-sized handguns. Law enforcement agencies across the country jumped on board, and for a while, the .40 was king. But the crown didn't last. The .40 S&W has a snappy recoil, accelerated wear on firearms, and a reputation for being tough to shoot well, especially in compact pistols. While it offered more stopping power on paper, real-world data and modern bullet design started to close the gap between 9mm and .40. As 9mm ammo improved dramatically in the 2010s, the FBI and many police departments quietly went back to the 9mm, citing better accuracy, faster follow-up shots, and greater capacity. Today, the .40 S&W still has a loyal following, but its time in the spotlight has clearly passed. Once the darling of duty holsters, it's now largely a footnote in the caliber wars, a reminder that compromise doesn't always mean better. Number 4. .32 H&R Magnum, the underwhelming upgrade. The .32 H&R Magnum was introduced in the 1980s with high hopes. It aimed to offer more punch than the old .32 S&W long while maintaining low recoil and compact revolver compatibility. On paper, it seemed like a smart step up, a Magnum level boost for those who wanted a mild shooting, small caliber revolver with a little more authority. Ballistically, it does outperform its .32 caliber predecessors, launching 85 to 100 grain bullets at respectable velocities in the 1100-1200 feet per second range. It's accurate, controllable, and easy to shoot, especially in lightweight revolvers. For recoil-sensitive shooters or those interested in small game or light self-defense, the .32 H&R Magnum can absolutely do the job. But the hype never quite matched the results. It never reached mainstream popularity, largely due to limited handgun and ammunition availability. Then came the .327 Federal Magnum, which outclassed the .32 H&R in every performance category while still allowing it to be fired from the same guns. That left the .32 H&R Magnum in an awkward middle ground, better than a .22, but not quite enough to inspire confidence in. Number 3. .41 Magnum, the forgotten middle child. The .41 Magnum was introduced in 1964 with the best of intentions to bridge the gap between the hard-hitting .44 Magnum and the more manageable .357 Magnum. It was meant to be the just right option for both law enforcement and hunters, offering powerful ballistics with less recoil than the .44 and more authority than the .357. But despite its promise, the .41 Magnum never quite found its footing. Part of the issue was timing. Law enforcement had little interest in adopting a new caliber that required specialized training and gear, especially one still packing stout recoil. Meanwhile, hunters and revolver enthusiasts were already comfortable with the proven performance of the .44 Magnum. As a result, the .41 ended up being neither here nor there, not mild enough for duty use, not dominant enough to dethrone the king of big-bore revolvers. That said, the .41 Magnum is no slouch. It delivers excellent accuracy, deep penetration, and more than enough stopping power for hogs, deer, or even black bear. For reloaders and wheelgun lovers, it remains a sweet shooting powerhouse with a cult following. Number 2.25 ACP, the weakling in your pocket. The .25 ACP, automatic Colt pistol, was introduced in 1905 by John Browning as a small, semi-rimmed cartridge for ultra-compact pocket pistols. Back then, the idea was simple: give people a tiny, easily concealable firearm with centerfire reliability, something more dependable than a rimfire .22 but still small enough to fit in a vest pocket. And sure, the .25 ACP delivers on concealability. It fits in the smallest guns imaginable and offers almost no recoil. But that's where the good news ends. With bullet weights around 35 to 50 grains and muzzle velocities barely cracking 800 feet per second, the .25 ACP struggles to deliver any meaningful stopping power. Penetration is minimal, expansion is rare, and in real-world self-defense situations, it simply doesn't perform well. Modern defensive ammunition has made huge leaps forward, but the .25 ACP hasn't kept up. When compared to other subcompact friendly calibers like .32 ACP or .380, it quickly shows its limitations. In short, it's better than nothing, but only just. Number 1.32 ACP, the mouse gun that time left behind. The .32 ACP, automatic Colt pistol, also known as 7.65 Browning, was once the go-to round for discreet self-defense. Designed by John Browning in 1899, it gained widespread use in Europe and was favored for its compact size, mild recoil, and ability to cycle reliably in small blowback pistols. From military officers to undercover detectives, the .32 ACP was once considered a serious defensive option. Fast forward to today, and the story has changed. With modern advancements in ballistics and more powerful pocket-friendly calibers available, the .32 ACP now feels anemic. Most loads push a 71-grain bullet around 900 feet per second, enough for deep concealment, but often lacking the stopping power needed for high-stress defensive encounters. While it's still favored by some for its soft recoil and vintage appeal, the .32 ACP struggles to stay relevant in a world dominated by .380 ACP and 9mm micro compacts. Ammo selection is limited, and its penetration and expansion are mediocre at best.